What's going on? Sensational MMA. We're breaking down the UFC 290 card. Gonna give you guys some good picks. Starting off with the main event. This is an absolute crazy matchup. Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez. I'm taking Yair in this one. I think his kicking game is going to be too much. He's too quick and rangy. You look at the people who hurt Volkanovski. Max dropped him with a head kick. Islam dropped him with a head kick. And if you go back a few years, his only loss outside of the UFC, he got spammed with kicks. And that's kind of what Yair does. Unless Volk can take him down and just wear on him in the first minute or so, I think he's going to get pieced up. Yeah, we're going to have a new champion. Next up, this is a tougher one. Brandon Moreno, Alexandre Pantoja. Pantoja's beaten him twice already, but that was before Brandon was who he is. But I still got to give it to Pantoja. Pantoja's really good with submissions. He's only lost to Figueiredo and Askarov in the UFC, both decision losses. Really good at wrapping up the neck. And you see Brandon, when he does get clipped and he shoots, he gives up his neck a lot. Even in, I want to say it was the last fight with Figgy, gave up his neck and had to fight off the guillotine. I don't think Pantoja is going to let him slide out of that. So, yeah, I'd take Pantoja by sub. And I would take both those as straight money line bets. I wouldn't parlay them. Come on, can't bet against Bobby Knuckles. Robert Whitaker's too good for Dricus. I mean, Dricus he doesn't look that impressive. He grinds on people, and somehow both people always end up tired, and he just comes out on top. I don't know a single win where I'm like, wow, this guy's a problem. Don't have that, so I'm taking Rob all the way. Jalen Turner, Dan Hooker. Taking Jalen Turner here because Dan Hooker, a lot of his success comes from being the longer, rangier guy, looking for those knees up the middle. And, that works for him. He's been on kind of a skid lately. The last win he has was over Claudio Puelles, who just likes to roll into your ankles and stuff like that. It didn't seem like much of a test, to be honest. And Jalen Turner's a longer, rangier guy than Dan Hooker. Hard to come by in 155, but he is. He's, I think, like 6 foot or 6'1". So huge for the division. So I don't think Dan Hooker is going to be able to establish his range, really get any meaningful strikes off. Taking Jalen there. Bo Nickel, they fed him another striker. Bo Nickel by however he wants. I mean, he's going to destroy this guy. He's a striker. Yeah, Bo's going to run through that guy. Not touching the Robbie Lawler-Nico Price fight for a couple of reasons. Robbie hasn't fought in a while. I don't think Nico's fought in a while either. Robbie's getting old. Don't really know what to expect out of that, so yeah, I'm not touching that. Jack Della Maddalena is going to smash this guy. It shouldn't even be close. So yeah, probably take him by finish, but I think I'd put him in a parlay, just straight that he'll win. Oh, Jimmy Crute, Alonzo Menafield, their first fight was crazy. If you haven't seen that, it was a savage beatdown in the first round. Jimmy Crute looked like he was dying. And he came back and wrestled his way to a draw because the first round was a 10-8. That being said, I think Jimmy Crute's going to win this time because if you had him that hurt and you still got out-grappled by him so badly, unless you made some severe changes, I think Jimmy Crute should be able to wrestle this guy and win a decision. Alonzo does have the power to just put him away, but Jimmy Crute's probably going to make the adjustments from the first fight, not get clipped like that, and just wrestle him out. Tetsuro Taira, I think he's the best flyweight fighter that's not ranked right now. I think he's the hottest prospect. Should just steamroll this guy. Wouldn't touch any of these fights. I don't know much about them. Jesus Aguilar. He's another prospect at 125 who looks really good. Submission machine. I think he'll submit this Shannon Ross guy. Shannon Ross, kind of like a 50-50 fighter. I think he has 2 losses in the UFC. That's all he's got. And Jesus lost once in the UFC, but it was to Tatsuro Taira. So, I mean, I just said he's the best prospect. Well, he might be the second best prospect. That being said, probably take him by submission. Yeah, wouldn't touch this fight. So yeah, those are my outright picks. If you want a parlay to make, you can have Robert Whitaker, Jalen Turner, Jack Della Maddalena, Tatsuro Taira, Jimmy Crew, and Jesus Aguilar. Um, that right there is going to get you about 5.5 to 6 times your money. If you want to spice it up, you could put I keep saying Jesus by submission. You could put something like Tatsuro Taira by finish because I think he's like a minus 1100, something just to spice it up. Um, yeah, that should probably bring you to like 6.5, 7 times your money. I wouldn't put too many things on top of that because at that point you're just getting greedy, asking to lose your money. Another good parlay you could make if you're feeling risky is just Yair Pantoja. That alone, they're both underdogs. That's probably going to be like 10x your money or something like that. I don't know exactly. But yeah, that's a good one if you're feeling the underdogs like I am. But yep, that's my picks for 290. This is an absolute crazy card. I can't wait to watch this one. Probably going to do some reaction videos to the fights too. But till next time, peace.